In the heart of a bustling city, nestled between towering buildings and busy streets, there was a small preschool called Bright Horizons. This was no ordinary school. It followed the principles of Maria Montessori, allowing children to explore, learn, and grow at their own pace. Lily, a young and passionate teacher, had just been hired at Bright Horizons. She had spent years studying early childhood education and was fascinated by Montessori's approach. She believed in the power of hands-on learning and was excited to create an environment where children could flourish. On her first day, Lily stepped into the classroom and was instantly captivated by its warm and inviting atmosphere. Unlike traditional classrooms, filled with rows of desks, this room had different learning stations, a reading nook with shelves of books, a sensory table filled with grains and water, a mathematics corner with wooden beads, and a practical life area where children could practice everyday tasks like pouring, buttoning, and sweeping. She noticed that the children were not sitting still in chairs, but were moving freely, choosing activities that interested them. Some were engaged in quiet concentration, while others collaborated with their peers. The classroom was alive with curiosity and discovery. Among the students was a 5-year-old boy named Daniel. He had been labeled as hyperactive in his previous school and often struggled to sit still. However, in Lily's Montessori classroom, he was not forced to remain in one spot. Instead, he was encouraged to explore. One day, Daniel wandered over to the practical life area and noticed a small glass pitcher filled with water. Beside it were several empty cups. Intrigued, he picked up the pitcher and carefully poured water into one of the cups. A few drops spilled, and he looked up expecting a scolding. But Lily simply smiled and handed him a small sponge. "You can clean it up," she said gently. Daniel wiped the spill and tried again, this time pouring with more precision. After a few attempts, he managed to pour the water perfectly without spilling a drop. "Teacher, look, I did it," he exclaimed with pride. Lily knew that this simple activity was more than just play. It was helping Daniel develop his fine motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and a sense of independence. More importantly, he was learning through experience, which is at the heart of the Montessori method. Across the room, a quiet girl named Emma was sitting by the language area, her fingers tracing over sandpaper letters. She had always been shy and hesitant to speak in class, but the tactile experience of feeling the letters helped her connect with their sounds. Lily sat beside her and gently guided her hand over the letter M. "M," she pronounced softly. Emma hesitated, then whispered, "M." "That's right," Lily encouraged. "Now let's try another one." Day by day, Emma gained confidence. The Montessori approach allowed her to learn at her own pace without pressure. Soon, she was blending sounds together and forming simple words. One day, she looked up at Lily and said, "I can read." Lily's heart swelled with joy. Emma's journey was a testament to the effectiveness of Montessori's method. Learning should be natural, joyful, and free from fear. Tom, an inquisitive 4-year-old, loved puzzles. One morning, he picked up a wooden puzzle of geometric shapes and eagerly began fitting the pieces together. But one piece didn't seem to fit. Frustrated, Tom furrowed his brow and looked at Lily for help. Instead of giving him the answer, she asked, "What do you think? Does it fit perfectly?" Tom examined the piece again. He turned it slightly and tried a different slot. This time it fit perfectly. His eyes lit up with excitement. "I did it by myself." Montessori's method teaches children to be problem solvers and independent thinkers. By allowing Tom to figure it out on his own, Lily was nurturing his confidence and critical thinking skills. Montessori believed that a classroom should function as a community where children learn not just academic skills, but also social and practical life skills. Every morning, the children had small responsibilities. Some watered the plants, others set the table for snack time, and a few tidied up the shelves. One day, a 3-year-old named Sophie spilled a basket of beads on the floor. Instinctively, several children rushed to help her pick them up. "Let's do it together," said Oliver, a kind-hearted 5-year-old. Lily watched with pride as the children collaborated without being told. They were learning empathy, teamwork, and responsibility skills that would serve them for a lifetime. Unlike traditional teachers, who constantly instruct, Montessori educators act as guides. Lily spent much of her time observing the children, noting their interests, strengths, and challenges. She adjusted the environment to match their needs, rather than forcing them into a rigid curriculum. One afternoon, she noticed a girl named Mia gravitating towards a small basket of fabric swatches. Mia loved feeling different textures and sorting them by color. Recognizing her interest, Lily introduced a lesson on textiles, bringing in different materials like cotton, silk, and wool. Mia's curiosity deepened, and she began asking questions about how fabric was made. This simple observation turned into an entire exploration of materials, weaving, and even cultural traditions of fabric making around the world. This is the beauty of Montessori education. It follows the child's natural curiosity and transforms it into meaningful learning experiences. As months passed, Lily saw incredible growth in her students. They became more independent, confident, and engaged in their learning. The classroom was no longer just a place of instruction, but a space of discovery. Parents noticed the changes too. Daniel's mother, who had been worried about his ability to focus, marveled at how he now completed tasks at home with patience and determination. Emma's father was thrilled to hear his daughter reading simple words on her own. Tom's parents noticed that he no longer grew frustrated easily. Instead, he embraced challenges with curiosity. One evening, during a parent-teacher meeting, Lily shared Montessori's philosophy with the families. Children are naturally eager to learn, she explained. Our job is not to control them, but to guide them, provide them with the right tools, and trust in their ability to grow. The parents nodded, some with tears in their eyes, realizing that this approach was not just about education, but about nurturing a lifelong love for learning. By the end of the school year, Lily reflected on her own journey. She had started as a teacher eager to implement Montessori principles, but she, too, had learned so much along the way. She had witnessed firsthand how children, when given freedom within structure, could achieve incredible things. As she packed up for the summer break, she knew that the seeds of curiosity, confidence, and independence had been planted in each child. They would carry these lessons with them, not just in school but throughout their lives. And that was the true power of Maria Montessori's method, a method that did not simply teach children what to learn, but how to learn forever.